We live you. Boy, that's an interesting expression. We live you. What does it mean and where did it come from? Let me share some thoughts with you. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Jay Harness. We live you. Well, it's an expression that was coined several years ago by my dear friend and branding expert, Steve Cranford. Steve came in and spent time with me interviewing my patients after I would see them to learn more about what my practice was like and to learn more about the interaction between a breast surgeon and particularly newly diagnosed breast cancer patients. So he came up with two very, very unique expressions. The first was, we live you, and I'll explain more about that in a second. And the second was emotional reconstruction. I've done a video about emotional reconstruction, which is really an amazing expression and the importance of embracing the patient's fears, having them know that they're going to be all right, and helping them begin the process of getting over their fears and to start the process of emotional reconstruction. But when Steve came up with the expression, we live you, I said, my goodness gracious, what does that mean? And he said, well, Jay, what I've learned about your practice is that you have a way of embracing patients. You have a way of taking in their fear, their anxieties, their questions, everything that they come with when you see them, and embracing them in a way that it takes away those fears. And it also makes them feel like you're an intimate part of their life. He said, I couldn't come up with an expression, we love you, but we live you means some of the same sorts of things. One of the things that I've learned about dealing with breast cancer patients the way I have over several years, actually 35 plus years, is that there's a lot of intimacy involved here. And there's an expression of the word intimacy that I really love. Into me you see. When you think about it, whether it's a woman with breast cancer or any patient with any type of cancer, the fear is palpable, but particularly when it comes to breast cancer, when we think of the other things the breasts are associated with, the intimacy questions and the body figure questions and all of those things are of paramount importance. So I really like the expression and the definition of intimacy, into me you see, because as a breast cancer surgeon, we've got to understand all those aspects about the emotions that patients bring with them. After Steve coined these two expressions, he asked me to trademark them, and I did. And we've used those expressions at the Breast Cancer Answers website, at the drjharness.com website, and in my book, the Breast Cancer Answers book that I'll be quoting from in a few minutes. I think I've had the opportunity to show everybody the book in the past, but this is called the Breast Cancer Answers book, Your Guide to Emotional Reconstruction. Part of our role as breast cancer surgeons isn't just to be parts removers. Part of our role is to be truly what all physicians should be, which is to be healers. And so the we live you is part of that intimacy, part of that process, part of that embracing the patient and making them feel like I'm an intimate part of their lives and that I'm really totally there for them. Let me wrap up this little brief description of we live you, excuse me, with the dedication from my book, the Breast Cancer Answers book. It says, this book is dedicated to the women and men whose lives are changed to forever by the diagnosis of breast cancer. You are not alone. We are all in this together. Together we will triumph. We live you. Thank you very much for the privilege of your time.